Once upon a time, in a workshop full of wood shavings, solder fumes, and big dreams, a headphone called the Omni was born. Like Frankenstein's monster, the Omni used a borrowed heart. Taken from the Fostex T50 headphone, the heart of the Omni was tried and tested, and the master of this evolution aimed to fulfill all of the promise contained within that heart. 10 years later, the Omni is no more. Forgotten to myth and legend. That is, until recently. With the arrival of the Ori 3.0 headphones, the Omni's legacy continues. Renamed, redesigned, and ready to be rediscovered. Or, as in my case, discovered for the first time. I never heard the original Omni. I also never heard the renamed version called the Ori, the original Ori. But now, I have heard the Ori 3.0, and I need to tell you about it. At $2,200 US, the ZMF Ori 3 is a far cry from the $200-ish Fostex T50RP that it's now very distantly related to. But that's because the Ori 3 is now much more. Inside the Ori 3 is a custom-made planar magnetic driver, not a stock Fostex one like before. On the outside are machined wooden cups made of black limba hardwood that's been heat-treated to improve its strength. And then inside those cups is the atrium damping system that was first developed for the amazing atrium headphones from ZMF. In other words, there's a lot of technology and research that's gone into making the Ori 3.0 headphones. And that's what separates the Ori 3 from the original Ori/Omni and from the Fostex T50RPs. Not that either of those lack for research and technology, I'm sure, but the Ori 3 is next level. And if you know my reviews, you'll know that I wouldn't be saying that if all of that was just technical marketing babble. I only give props to new technologies if they pay off sonically. And the Oris, the Ori 3s, absolutely pay off sonically. Their 60 ohm planar drivers are fairly sensitive at 95 decibels per milliwatt, so you can run these from pretty much anything. They will reward you handsomely though for plugging them into a high quality source. It's not about power with these, it's just about quality. But we haven't even mentioned yet what is perhaps the greatest feature of the ZMF Ori 3.0. Like all ZMF headphones, you can adjust the sound of the ZMF Oris by changing their pads. Beyond that though, they also have a hole in the cup that lets you plug, unplug, or partially plug the bass venting system. That allows for a huge range of tuning options that I'll talk about shortly, but let's start with talking about how they sounded in the form that they arrived to me. The first thing I noticed about the Ori 3s was how extended and controlled the bass was. That was with the bass port sealed using the sealed plug. My impression of their tonality was that it's just a little bit upper mid forward, but very well balanced. There are no sharp peaks or cuts in their tuning, which relates in a very fatigue-free and natural timbre. I'd actually say that they're a very deft tuning overall, and I think one of the best I've heard from ZMF, which is saying something. Then, when I removed the plugs to allow the bass ports to be open, the sound did shift significantly and noticeably, but not actually as much as I expected. I'd also say that perceptually, the shift when you remove the plugs is not as great as what you might expect when you see the graph. The sound of the Oris does get richer and fuller when you remove the bass plug, but it doesn't bleed into the mids, and so the overall tonality of the headphones doesn't change a great deal. In other words, the wonderfully liquid and articulate mid-range from the Ori 3, that we'll talk about more, remains just as prominent, clean and clear, whether the port is sealed, open, or with the partially open plug. And I would say that that is clearly the strong point of the Ori 3s, that present, articulate and liquid mid-range. Getting back to the bass port for a moment though, I think it does behave fairly similarly to what you get from speakers, in the sense of comparing a sealed speaker to a ported speaker. With the bass port sealed, the bass is tighter, it's not as full sounding, but it is still very well extended. With the port open, the bass gets a little bit fuller and a tiny bit looser, but it doesn't get loose overall and it's definitely not boomy. Curiously, the semi-open plugs actually had more impact for me on the upper registers of the Ori 3 than it did on their bass. The treble from the Ori 3 I would describe as being crisp and extended, but not bright, not harsh and not fatiguing. That's in its stock form with the sealed plugs in place. However, I felt like for some reason, changing those plugs for the semi-open design made the top end just a bit crisper still and did border on almost fatiguing for me. Now it's important to note that for some people, that little extra bit of crispness that I'm talking about with the semi-open plugs might be just what you need. For me, it was a little tiny step too far, but it's not big enough that it's a problem. It wouldn't make them unenjoyable to me. I just liked them better with that pulled back a touch with the sealed plugs or the fully open port. Now with those semi-open plugs, there is also a very mild lift in the bass, but it wasn't enough to significantly change the character of the Ori 3s for me, given that there was also that shift in the character of the treble. I haven't looked closely enough at the measurements to actually know if the semi-open plug increases the treble, perhaps it does, but it definitely changes the character of the treble. And so to me, that was a more obvious shift than that little tiny mild lift in the bass compared to the sealed plugs. But after saying all of that, the good news is that if you buy the Ori 3s, you get all different plugs, all 3 different plugs included for free, so you can play around and decide what you like. What surprised me the most, as a self-declared bass lover, was that my preference on the Ori 3s generally was the fully sealed or closed plug. The sense of tightness and depth in the bass from the Ori 3s was nothing short of addictive to me. But I should sidestep for just a moment and talk about a non-sound feature of the Ori 3s before we get into some comparisons to give you some context. I think the Ori 3s are a great looking headphone. They're also a very comfortable headphone, especially once you factor in the huge range of pads available, and more on that shortly. But I think it's also worth noting that the wooden cups used on ZMF headphones like the Ori 3 are a bit heavier and bulkier than some other design approaches used by other brands. That's just a reality of the design of ZMF headphones. It definitely does not make the Ori 3s uncomfortable, but I was more aware of them on my head than something that is lighter and a little bit more compact, such as the Sony MDR Z1Rs that we'll do a comparison with in a moment. With that short detour about comfort out of the way though, and the summary being that they're very comfortable, you just tend to be more aware of them on your head, let's go back now and talk about sound with some comparisons. An obvious comparison for me to make here was with the Caldera Closed headphone, also from ZMF. ZMF were kind enough to send me the Caldera Closed along with the Ori 3 and along with the Bokeh Opens. So stay tuned for more ZMF headphone reviews coming soon. Subscribe if you want to catch them. They're coming up in the next few weeks. Back to the Caldera Closed though, it's a more expensive headphone than the Ori 3. The Caldera Closed comes in at about $3,500 US. And when you listen to both, they definitely share the same ZMF DNA. But they're also different. The Ori 3 is a more mid-range forward sound than the Caldera Closed, and that makes the Caldera Closed sound more open and spacious sounding, but some people may be left thinking that it's a bit mid-range recessed compared to something like the Ori 3. I'll spend a lot more time talking about the technicalities of the Caldera Closed in my full review of them, because in terms of technicalities like detail and staging, they are a bit superior to the Ori 3, But I want to focus here more on the tonal differences between them, because it doesn't matter how detailed or spacious a headphone is, if you don't like the tonality, there's no point buying that headphone. So let's focus on the tonalities for now to help you work out if the Ori 3 is a better choice for you, or maybe if the Caldera Closed is a better choice for you, purely from a tonality perspective. I personally feel like the Ori 3 rolls off the treble in a more natural way than what the Caldera Closed does. The Calderas have a little bit of an extra kick in the upper treble that the Ori 3s don't. It gives the Caldera Closed a bit of extra sense of clarity in the upper registers, but it could also be a little bit more fatiguing for some people perhaps. It's also likely something that's going to change a bit when I do some pad rolling with them, so don't make your decisions about whether or not the Caldera Closed is good for you or not from this video, but do make your decisions about how you think the Ori 3 would suit you from this video. In other words, what I really want to convey here is that my initial impressions and instincts are that I probably prefer the tonality of the Ori 3 over the Caldera Closed. And you might too, or maybe you won't. The Ori 3 is a more intimate and smooth sounding headphone than the Caldera Closed. But I'd say that in the broader range of things, the Ori 3 is not particularly a warm sounding headphone. It's just richer or warmer than the Caldera Closed. And all of this, by the way, is with the stock pads on both headphones. And it is that tonal character of the Ori 3s that I like so much about them. I like the fact that they're a slightly mid-range forward and intimate but still liquid and clean sounding headphone. If you're seeking a spacious sounding open back that's maybe a little bit more on the neutral side, then the Caldera Closed might be a better fit for you. But if you love a gorgeous mid-range for vocals and instrumentals, the Ori 3s might be your perfect headphone. And we still haven't talked about pad rolling yet. I made my way through each of the different pads on the Ori 3 whilst using the closed plugs because that was my favourite sound of them. And the changes made by the pads will be consistent regardless of which of the plugs you have installed. In other words, you can mix and match the plugs with the different pads to get a range of different sounds out of these. But the pads will always have the same impact on the sound regardless of which plug you have in place. And I know that what I've just said might get confusing, so what I'm saying is that the choice of plugs is one set of tuning choices to add more bass or less bass, or that middle ground thing that I spoke about with the semi-open plug. That's one set of decisions that you make. And then a separate set of decisions that you make is what the pads are doing. Which pads you have on will not change what the plugs do, and which plugs you have in will not change what the pads do. I hope that makes sense. I began my pad journey with the Ori 3s by moving from the stock pads, which are a perforated leather Caldera pad, over to the suede version of the same pad. Those soften the edges of the sound slightly, and I really like them for it. If you like a slightly softer edged sound, or if you have a particularly energetic sounding headphone amp and/or DAC, the suede pads could be the perfect balance point for you. If there is a trade-off, it might be that the leather pads give you just a tiny bit more sense of texture in the bass from the Ori 3s, but at the same time with the leather pads, there's a bit of extra snap in the lower treble that I don't enjoy as much with the leather pads, and therefore prefer that slight sense of ease from those suede pads instead. I think to me, the staging and imaging is largely unchanged regardless of which pad choice you have there, the leather or the suede. Although perhaps with the leather pads, with their slightly crisper sound, the imaging and focus of that image might be just a tiny bit sharper, but it's a very small difference, if any at all. In other words, I wouldn't make my decision based on the staging between these pads, I'd make my decision based on the tonality and the character of the sound between these two pads. Something that might be more influential on your decision making though, is the comfort. The leather pads are already very comfortable, as I've already said, and they'll probably get even more comfortable with extra use. The suede pads though are insanely comfortable straight out of the packet. They're snug on your ears like a comfy pair of slippers. Not that slippers will be comfortable on your ears, but you know what I mean. They cushion the headphones against your head in a way that makes the size and weight of the Ori 3s a little bit less obvious. As I said earlier, the Ori 3s are comfortable no matter which pad is on them, but they are fairly large and moderately heavy. The suede pads for me go a long way to making that less relevant. But that's just two pads we've discussed so far, and we've still got two more. Your favourite might still be to come. Swapping to the hybrid pads on the Ori 3 surprised me. My past experience of hybrid pads have generally been quite similar to suede pads. But here, on the Ori 3, it's different. It's probably more to do with the dimensions of the pads than the materials of the pads in this case, because the hybrid pads I believe are a little bit thinner than the leather pads. But the hybrid pads produce a little bit more snap or sense of clarity in the upper registers of the Ori to me. I personally found that they made the Ori 3s just a little bit fatiguing to my ears. But again, that's going to be personal, and you might prefer that extra sense of clarity and energy that the hybrid pads bring. Something I did like about the hybrid pads was they brought a little bit of extra sense of weight to the mid-range, and particularly the lower mid-range, and that helped to emphasize and bring out sounds in the mix that I didn't necessarily hear the same way from either the leather pads or the suede pads. That was fun to hear it a bit differently, and it could be a reason to have the hybrid pads in your collection just for those times you want to mix things up a bit and hear things a bit differently. I would personally still choose to have the leather pads and the suede pads, but you're different to me. And then we get to the thin leather pads. I didn't enjoy them so much initially. They created a bit of extra emphasis in the upper mid-range, which I don't need for my personal hearing sensitivities and preferences. But that said, the sound was still very refined from the Ori 3s, even though it got a bit crisper with those thin pads. And if you do love clarity and energy from your headphones, I would recommend the thin pads for you with the Ori 3s. But then, for no conscious reason that I'm aware of, I just decided to remove the bass plugs while still listening with the thin pads. And that combination was buckets of fun. The extra bass from opening up the ports on the Ori 3s, combined with that extra sense of energy and clarity from the thin pads, made for a sound that was so dynamic and enjoyable. The vocals were now right up inside my head, and the bass was weighty and a little bit reverberant. I don't mean it was adding anything that wasn't in the track, but it presented the music differently and the bass differently to the other combinations I tried. And when I say that, just so I don't confuse you from what I said before, it was bassier because I removed the plugs, and it was balanced by the clarity that was coming from the pads. And I could absolutely see myself choosing that particular combination for those times that I want a dynamic and energetic listening session. For daily listening, I would likely stick though to either the stock leather pads or the suede pads on the Ori 3. I was finding them just immensely enjoyable in that stock setup. So enjoyable, in fact, that I was a bit reluctant to compare them to my beloved Sony MDR Z1Rs. I was worried that the Z1Rs would now sound second best when compared to the Ori 3s. In reality though, once I did get the courage to actually compare them, it was more like two different flavours of ice cream. Both of these headphones are brilliant for different reasons. The Sonys are a little bit crisper in the upper treble and a bit punchier and more present in the bass compared to the closed version of the Ori 3s. The bass is still tight with the Sonys, just as it is with the Oris, but there's a little bit more sense of punch from the Sonys. And I was having a hard time choosing a favourite. The Ori 3s brought the mid-range forward a bit more, and it was a little bit more intimate sounding as a result, whereas the Sonys, as you'll have already gathered, sounded a bit more open and less intimate. The Sonys were also a touch more dynamic sounding because of that punchy bass and their overall slightly more V-shaped tuning. It's also hard to overlook the weight and therefore the comfort of the Sonys, and that's even though the Ori 3s are very comfortable. I think the Sonys being that much lighter just gives them a slight edge for me in terms of on-head feel. With all that said though, I kept being brought back to listening and wanting to listen to the Ori 3s. That's even after I'd finished writing up all my notes, doing all my comparisons. I kept putting these on instead of the Sonys, and it's all because of the mid-range in the Ori 3s. That mid-range is addictively articulate and liquid, but smooth and present as well. Vocals and instrumental solos just flow from the music with the Ori 3s on your head. If you're a fan of great mid-range sound, I think you should absolutely check out a pair of these. Audition them if you can, check them out at a show, or just buy them if you think it sounds like a good headphone for you. And so to learn more, click the links in the description down below as always. Or if you want a brilliant headphone amp to connect your Oris or any other headphones to, then you'll want to watch the video I've pinned here at the end next. But for now, until next time, peace, love and music, and I'll see you again soon.